What we're going to try to do here is make this subtraction. We're going to have this expression minus this one here. Now this expression over here is not simple. It's not simplified because we're not writing it, but that index is a 2, and look what's under this radical. Got a 27. Now I can break that 27 into two numbers, one of which I know the square root, like 9 and 3, so I can pull a square root out of here. This exponent is bigger than the index, so we've got too much stuff in this package. And the 4, that power, that exponent is bigger than this index. This package here has too much stuff in it, whereas this one over here does not. I can't simplify the square root of 3, and this exponent here is smaller than that index of 2. So this expression is simplified, this one is not. So let's simplify this one here. So I'm going to deal with the number first. So I'm going to write this, let's rewrite the whole thing here. X, 7xy squared, square root of 3x, minus, now here's how I can write this. 27, we can break that 27 into 9 times 3 because we know the square root of 9. And then we'll get x cubed, y to the 4th. This will give us 7xy squared, square root of 3x, minus, now I'm just going to do this. This is the square root of 9 times square root of 3. I can break it apart, square root of 9, square root of 3. Oh, you know what, let's go ahead and do it. It'll be square root of 9, and then square root of 3x cubed, y to the 4th. And this one we know, so we'll get 7xy squared, square root of 3x, minus 3 square roots of 3 x cubed y to the 4th. Now let's deal with these exponents. So the way we do this, we know, is we're going to take this index right here, that 2, and divide it into the exponents. So let's deal with the x first. So let's analyze the x. So I'm going to take the index into the exponent, right? Index into the exponent, 2 into 3. Well, 2 into 3 goes once with remainder 1. And that means we can bring 1x out, but 1x will remain under the radical. So let's do the y while we're here. Analyzing that y, index into exponent, 2 into 4, well, that'll go 2 times with remainder 0. And what that tells us, we can take 2 y's out, and no y's will remain under the radical. So let's see what we have now. Here's what we are. 7xy squared, square root of 3x, minus 3. Now, here's what we're going to do. We can bring 1x out, so I'm going to bring an x out. And then I can bring 2 y's out, so I'll bring 2 y's out. And here's what's left then. The square root of, well, what's left? That 3 is still left. That 3 remains. Then 1x remains, no y's, so just 1x. Now, look what we've got here. We've got 7 of these things, and we're going to subtract 3 of the same things. Right? Do you see it? We have 7 of these minus 3 of the same things, x, y squared, square roots. So 7 of them minus 3 of them, that's going to leave 4 of those, so we'll have 4 of what? Those xy squareds, square roots of 3x's. There we go. Let's move over here to number 16. We're given this function right here. Oh, let's not do that. So we're given this function here, and what we want to do is evaluate it at 5. So here's our computing instructions. We're going to put in 5 and see what we get out. So what we'll do here is replace, let's just look back up here. That x has been replaced with 5. So replace all the x's with 5. So this is going to look like this. F of 5 is going to be, all right, now that x we replaced with 5, so replace all the x's with 5. So we will get 5 squared minus 5 minus 6 on the top. On the bottom, 5 squared minus 3 times 5 minus 4. Let's just bring this straight down. This will give us 25 minus 5 minus 6 over 25 minus 15 minus 4. This will give us, okay, what do we get up here? 25 minus 5 is 20, minus 6 is 14, we'll get a 14. And then what do we get down here? We'll get 25 minus 15 is 10. 10 minus 4 is a 6. 14 over 6, those are both even. We can divide by 2 and reduce it a little bit of that. How's 7/3? How's 7/3 look? Let me write it so it's actually readable. So we will get 7/3. So what's that's telling us? All right, so, gee whiz, okay, 7/3. And what that is telling us is that when we put in a 5, that gets converted to 7/3. Now in 17, we're given this set of computing instructions, and we want to find the output when we input -2, right? F of -2. The -2 is inside, so that's our input. We're going to put that -2 into x up here, right? You can see that x has been replaced by -2, so let's replace all the x's with -2. Well, let's see. That's going to give us f of -2 equals, now, replace all the x's with -2. I'll get a -2, what a mess. I get -2 squared minus -2. Be careful with all those negatives. But I get -2 squared and then minus -2. Lots of negatives here. Over -2 minus 4. All right, so this is going to give us now -2 squared is 4. And minus -2 is 4. Down here we're going to get a -6. So it looks like we're looking at 8 over -6. I can divide each of those by 2. How about if we get 4 over -3? But I'm going to never write this negative sign on denominators. Whenever you see a fraction with a negative sign in the denominator, put it on top right away. So this is going to give us that f of -2 is -4/3. There we go. So what we're saying is that if you put -2 in, you get -4/3 out.